Welcome to another episode of Fit Beyond 40. Thank you for joining us. If you hear the kids in the background, they're home. I'm still playing daddy as we do this. Last time around we were talking about mental health and mindset and how important that is to reach your goals when it comes to your fitness and well-being, etc. So today I've got a guest, Ian. Welcome in.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to meet you and start that again.
Keep going. That's all right. I don't do edits, by the way. All right? I haven't figured out how to do edits, so you're getting a director's cut. You're getting all the stuff here.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's a pleasure to be on the show. Yeah, and thank you for having me, Pete.
No problem at all. So, Ian, you're just under 40, aren't you?
You was going to say under 30 there. Well, yeah, I look all right, but yeah, I don't, yeah. I'm 37. Yeah, I'll be 38 this year, so I'm catching you up, Pete.
You can tell why we're all skippy. I'll tell you why we're all skippy and all over the place is what we were doing before we did this podcast.
Exactly.
Which we'll go into at the end, and we'll talk about how that can help you. And, we actually mentioned it on the last episode that I did. But first of all, let's talk. As you can see, Ian looks well. Look, they keep fit in and out of the gym.
Yep, try.
So let's talk about early life.
Yep.
How you got into fitness, how you got into sport. What did you do kind of at school? Give us an intro.
Yeah, so first of all, like I say, me getting into my fitness started at an early age. Like I say, my through my parents and so on. You know, like I said, my dad was always into his fitness. He actually played for Tottenham as a schoolboy.
I can delete that bit. Carry on.
So yeah, from the age of about 5-6 years of age, really, okay. I was kicking a football around the house. You know, having older brothers and so on as well, who was always playing football. Always helps. Yeah, football on the TV. Mum's an avid Man United supporter. So yeah, I sort of fell into that. Played through my younger days, Whitechester at Brentford and so on, and bounced around a few clubs. Got cut short though due to an injury on my hip. So it's hip impingement, so they had to just open me up and sort of clean out the bone and so on.
Okay. What age was that?
So that was around about 17.
Oh, so quite young then.
18.
So
yeah,
quite a big surgery like that.
Yeah. So that was a long process as well.
Okay.
So again, that was a bit of a mind battle, you know. I mean, not being able to play, and then obviously from there, I would still be in the gym and so on. Yeah. And just really trying to.
Was that one of the biggest sort of injuries you had up to date?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a few. You know, as we'll get onto it. Moving forward from that, I did bounce back and I did go playing again and semi-pro and so on. And I had keyhole surgery and so on my knee. So I've had a few other things going on, but yeah, as I say, it is one of the biggest injuries that I did have. Yeah, it set me back quite a while. I didn't play for probably about a year and a half.
And at 17 as well. I can imagine kind of all your mates, your teammates are kind of progressing.
Of course, for sure.
That's, as you said, a mental battle. It's quite hard at 17 to be dealing with that.
Yeah, and also a few of my friends were like had contracts and pro contracts playing football, you know, and you kind of think to yourself, well, you know, they've kind of made it now. What's going to happen with yourself? Start pressuring yourself. Exactly. Yeah. Massively. Don't know what, like, you know, that age is where all you want to do is kind of, you know, you want to play football. You know, you want to be like this sort of guy that's, you know, earning all this sort of money, and you don't really think about, I want to, you know, work in a 9-to-5 job or that sort of thing. If that makes any sense, you know.
Well, if that's your goal, you know, that's all you see at that time. Yeah, especially when we're young, we're kind of very fixated on what we want to be, don't we?
For sure, yeah.
And we don't actually think about, as with footballers and whatever, any kind of like successful person that you look at, you kind of look at them on top of the tree, but you haven't seen the journey that they're taking to get there.
For sure.
So you kind of forget about the YTS battles, because obviously you're still at school, some of that as well, aren't you? So you're still expected to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, when I was in school, I knew, not in a big-headed sort of way, I knew I was quite talented, so I didn't really focus in school.
Yeah.
You know, I was always messing around, always trying to be Jack the Lad, but then could always kind of make up for it in a way when it would come to, like, you know, sports days, presentation days, or representing the school in certain activities. So really, yeah, like I say, that's what I relied on at the time, you know.
And so, what about other injuries? So, did that stop you? That stopped you getting a pro contract, or did you
Yeah,
think
exactly. That stopped me.
That
That stopped me. I guess it's like a lot of people, they have bad injuries and so on, and then that's it. They're released.
They kind of fall down the wayside, don't they?
Of course, and then they don't know what they want to do, or they start, like I said, they try and get themselves fit. They bounce around like lower league clubs and that sort of thing, which is initially what I'd done. Started playing semi-pro and earning some form of money, but it's not enough. As you're getting older and progressing, it's not enough to, if you want to start moving and buying houses and doing things, you can't exactly live off that sort of money. So you get to a stage where you want to make a decision, right? Am I going to travel up and down the country playing for X amount of money, or am I going to go and progress and get a career and try and bet yourself that way? So it's again, that's a big decision.
As you're talking about career away from that sport.
Away from sport, yeah, exactly. It's a big decision for you to make, isn't it? But it's something that you have to think about, and of course that's what I thought about, to make my transition. But alongside that, I was always in the gym.
Okay.
I'd always be in the gym, always trying to train, always trying to progress, better yourself, because that's the only thing I guess from a young age.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if that's the only environment you've been in, you're kind of a product of that environment, aren't you?
For sure.
But I take it up till then, was most of your training sport specific?
Mostly.
Very kind of football related,
for sure.
Quite dynamic.
Yes. Correct. Yeah. So it was more sport specific. It was, and even if you are like we were saying, we've said before previously, like if it's off season, then of course
it's like FIFA season.
Yeah, so
it's the time and the six pack basically.
Yeah, it's time to bulk a bit and try and get in the gym, and you want to look good. Egos are flying all around the place, aren't they?
And so when did that come to? Would you say when did it kind of the balance tip towards more that style training as regards to more sports? Was it when you stopped playing semi-pro?
Yeah, I mean, when you start going, when I was playing still, like I said, off season you'd bulk up, you'd be in the gym, you'd train with people, you want to get bigger, and then you'd strip back down, ready pre-season, ready to go. So you're always kind of trying to stay tuned. But then maybe when I was around 25, 26, I started saying to myself, this isn't really gonna work for me doing the football side of things. So let's look at other avenues, and then of course you're going into the gym, and then you for me. It was more, I want to look good, feel good mentally, physically. So you start, more weights, 2 muscle groups, trying to be bigger, train with the bigger person in the gym.
More muscular.
Yeah, trying to catch you up.
Yeah, you don't need me. You don't need much to catch me up, mate.
Yeah.
So we're progressing. And what kind of career did you decide to go into after that?
So I actually it was funny enough because a couple of my pals. One of my good pals actually was a carpenter.
Okay. On the trades.
So he was on. Yeah, he's a tradesman. He's on the tools. A very clever man, actually, Michael Day. And I sort of started going with him. Just doing a few bits and pieces. I always bizarrely always kind of like property. Okay. I've always liked houses and that sort of thing. So I started focusing my energy in on that. And literally, I had other friends that were also learning the trade. Like plumbers, heating engineers, electricians.
So there's a circle of you.
So there's a circle of us, yeah. So I thought to myself, well, I started learning bits and pieces, but wasn't really taking it too seriously, just sort of doing it on the side. And then of course I got to a stage where I thought, you know what, I think I could make something out of this, in terms of my own business, by using the contacts that I have, the people that I know. And so I started taking the avenue of working for myself, and just literally doing renovation, building company, So and that's where we're at to this present date. Okay. I'm still trying to progress and build, but it's
there's a lot of stress with that. Obviously, we're going to talk about family in a minute because family changed the dynamic of the house completely.
Yeah, for sure.
And also change the dynamic of how you train and worry about your health, where that kind of all fits in. Mm-hmm. So being self-employed, that's no sick days, obviously. If you don't go in, you don't get paid.
That's it,
and there's also, I'm guessing, a lot of pressure to find work or have work lined up.
Massively.
Yeah.
Yeah, massively. I mean, for a bit like yourself, obviously having 3 kids.
I've got 2, by the way.
I'm sure we'll come on to that anyway. But it's just a massive pressure because work life, of course, will then have to come first before training and fitness. But for me, sorry.
No, I was going to say, sorry. It's almost like when you're in a relationship before kids, as soon as you have kids, it becomes kind of the transition from being selfish, or almost, if you want to use that word, to selfless. Because now there's a lot of things that come before you think about yourself.
And
also the dynamic of the house. Like we as a man kind of pop down the pecking order a bit, don't we?
For sure, yeah. You put yourself on the back burner and you try and do the right thing. But like you say, touching on this podcast and talking about fitness and mental health, I believe that, and what I've just learned from experience, is that in a way you have to kind of be selfish, because if you're not, and you're putting yourself on the back burner and you're always people pleasing, putting other people first, then where do you come in? You know, where does it fit for you? You know, and without a healthy mind, how good are you to yourself or other people? Is it's just what I believe. You know.
So we're going down the route of the analogy that's popped into my head is of the aircraft when they say make sure you put your mask on before you can put it on others.
Yeah, exactly.
So making sure you can breathe before you can kind of help other people.
For sure, exactly. That's exactly. Maybe that's not for everybody, but I just think for me in my circumstances and what I have gone through and so on, that for me it's you have to kind of be selfish in a way, you know.
Well, I mean, the role, we're going to get onto family now because as it smoothly just kind of transition to that. So I was 38 when I had my firstborn, so that coincided with a lot of kind of physiological things that I was going through, you know, the irritability, the tiredness, the mood swings, etc. The male menopause, if they call it.
For sure,
But at that time, you kind of just put it down to having kids. I wouldn't have known any different because that was my first child. So the fact that I'm tired, it's got to be the kids. It's got to be the kids, and you kind of just ignore it and kind of trip along, don't you? And get on with what you're doing. But I feel like the role of a man has changed.
Yeah, for sure.
As in, we take on a lot more. And part of me thinks, well, why wouldn't you want to be? Why wouldn't you want to have more influence and time with your children? But the hours in the day haven't changed. It's still only 24 hours. So it's where do you fit that in? You know, where do you, you know, as you're saying, you've got to put that mask on yourself. And you've got to sort yourself out. Where do we fit that in? Do we knock into our 7-hour sleep now? Is that what we've got to take a chunk out of to get that hour in the gym, or to get that, you know, hour of whatever people want to do? To get physical.
I mean, I think it for everyone's circumstances are different. But I feel like if you're married with a girlfriend or whatever it be, you have to have understanding with each other, good understanding, you know.
Of course.
I mean, you have to. It depends who is who's the breadwinner, who's, you know, that sort of thing. It's, you can't, like you say, it's kind of like 50-50 in terms of what a woman's doing and what the man's doing. But for me, I feel like if it's something you want to do, being in the gym, then your partner, your missus, girlfriend, wife, whatever it be, would have that understanding for you to go and do that. You know, if that's what helps you through that day, through that, just to have that hour in the gym, then get up, go and do it. Not don't let somebody stop you from doing it. Of course, you know, there's times where you have to be there for, like I say, for your kids, and, you know, support your missus, your wife, whatever it be. But I found, for me personally, I mean, when I had young children, I was I didn't step foot in the gym for almost a year, and that was probably one of my lowest points in my life, just because I wasn't. There was no them endorphins that you release through training, and there was nothing there, you know. And like you say, you're trying to do the right thing, but also you're crucifying yourself.
I get that. I mean, same with myself. I think when I had my first one, I didn't really get back to the gym per se as soon as I wanted to. But part of me, obviously, when I spend time with a newborn and stuff, I feel like the gym's got a lot to answer for. And not just the gym. A lot of people don't use gyms, by the way, so not necessarily just gyms. You've got just being physical, just activity. There's so many positives that come from that. And I think the mental grounding, of your mind is massive. The sleepless nights and whatever you do out of love for the child, etc. But those it's almost like a process of venting, going to the gym.
For sure.
And I'm not sure you could go back to your old man and your dad and, you know, his dad, etc. I know that my old man, and going back from that way, they used to go down to the pub or the working man's club, you know, 4 or 5 days a week. Because that was the done thing then. And that was almost their vent, if you like. You know, they'd go there, have a moan up about their
Yeah.
team losing or sport, have a moan up about the missus indoors, have a moan up about everything. So when they did walk in through the doors, they'd have a moan up about dinner. But then, you know, but it would it's kind of, that was their way of venting and keeping themselves level. So then when they got home, they could be the dad or the father figure, and had that time and scope to do it.
Yeah, I just like you say, though, I feel like the times have really changed, haven't they? I mean, years ago it would have been predominantly the man that was a breadwinner who's working, whereas nowadays it's a little bit more like you kind of need two incomes in terms of
afford anything.
To afford anything with inflation, to two incomes for the household. So yeah, it's like you say, trying to make the time is, of course, it's a lot harder. But I mean, it also like me, I don't really drink much, I don't smoke or so on. So for me, it wouldn't be going to a pub. It would be, let's go to the gym. Even if it's a vent in the gym, take your anger out on the gym, or chat to somebody in the gym. It depends on you as a person, isn't it?
Of course. Yeah. No, all I was trying to say was that those my man and the generation before us had that way of venting
for sure. Yeah.
But nowadays, people do that less. A lot of men don't go to the pub 5-6 days a week, or the working man's club that many days a week. But a lot of people have got access to gyms now than they had previously. Yeah. So that has kind of almost been a way of venting, if you like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I know some people can see it as, he wants to go to the gym, to get fit, to build a better body, etc. Yeah. But there's also the mind health that goes with going to a gym, the venting that goes, the process, the positive process that go for you. Just have to have 45 minutes, doesn't have to be an hour, of just doing something for yourself.
Definitely.
Venting, getting that frustration out, taking it out on the weights or whatever, or going for a run.
Yeah, or even socialising in the gym. It's a good, the gym is a really good way, I find, and I'm sure for a lot of people, to network. Yeah. To network, and a lot of people, like you said, they're there for the same thing, for the same reason. So sometimes you don't feel isolated, because you're not the only one that's going through some certain events in your life to want to be here in the gym to better yourself. You're not the only one. You're not alienated. There's more than one person out there that's and you don't realise that until you're there. And you're in that environment.
Totally, and that's one of the reasons. Why I kind of started this podcast is that I look back and I thought there must be other people out there who are feeling or are going through what I am. Yes. If we can help one or two people, why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't they look at, yourself or me or other guests I want to go, actually, I can relate to that. Yeah. You're going through something that I have, and there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, for sure.
I do feel I've lost my train of thought now. I was literally about to say something. Hold on, what were we talking about before that?
I tend to get that a lot. Don't worry. That's when you got so much on your mind. It's that tends to happen, doesn't it?
It does happen. But no, we were talking about the importance of getting out, doing the activity, the releasing of endorphins, etc. That's what I was going to say. Sorry, I've recalled. Sharpness has come back. By the way, this is another thing. As you get older, you forget things. I find myself running upstairs or downstairs and just being in the room for 20 seconds and wondering why I've come down here.
Brain overload.
That's what you call it, or brain under usage, if you like. What I was going to say was when you're talking about socialising, I think we don't have enough emphasis, and we don't realise the importance of us as human beings and socialising and what we get from actually we are social beings. Yeah. And I feel like at this time, globally, or definitely in the Western world, we are probably at our loneliest. Yeah. In the fact that everything's done on a phone or a laptop, and we're lacking that physical interaction. Yeah. So getting that physical interaction, even if you're going to the gym, meeting up with friends, and whether it is for a beer or not, or going out having a coffee, whatever it is, that social interaction has such a positive effect on your mindset.
Yeah, massively.
You cannot put a price on that.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like it all obviously boils down to as well. I mean, look, we live in London, which is really fast paced. So a lot of people as well, by the time they finish work, the 100-mile an hour, they're getting home, they're tending to kids, they're doing this and they're doing that, and a lot of people don't have the time to socialise. They want to just get on their phone, or
that's their downtime, if you like.
It's their downtime.
It's the Netflix generation, if you like. Yeah,
of course, for sure. Which it's then down to you to decide whether I'm going to sit there and be on social media and for hours on end, or where it be, or say to yourself, now, you know what, I'm going to get up and I'm going to go out and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go and train, I'm going to run, I'm going to go to the gym, I'm going to socialise. And for me, that's how I feel that I tick. I'm a people's person. I like to get out and find out what people are about, you know. And for me, like I said, that place is the gym.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally agree. I think just speaking to people with that interaction can inspire you, can motivate you. And sometimes you bump into people for a reason.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And
Yes.
and you're just meant to meet them that day. Going on to mental health and how our mind obviously dictates everything. On a previous episode, I'll talk about how I believe, in my opinion, the mindset is the key to everything. Forget workouts, forget nutrition, forget your supplements, forget whatever. If your mindset ain't right, I could literally drive you to the gym and cook your meals for you, but you won't achieve your goals and it won't be sustainable because you're not there.
100%. Yeah.
You are not. Yeah. You're not receptive to that information at the same time. We always talk about it's timing.
Yeah.
The timing ain't there.
Of course.
You know what I mean? And the battle of your mind, the battle between you and your mind is the big people. Listen, people take the mick, but that quote out of the Rocky film about that quote out of the Rocky film about life, not nothing's going to hit harder than life itself, and life ain't been about sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah.
And it's not about. It's about how you move forward.
Yeah. Yeah, life is very, very challenging.
Yeah.
And like you say, having having young families, just the dynamics of life, work, and so on. If your mindset's not right, you can be in all sorts of problems.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you've been there. I've been there. Going through it. And it's, for me personally, I believe it's who you have around you. You're only as good as those around you. You know, and if you've got strong. I'm lucky. I'm personally lucky enough to have a handful of friends that are real positive guys, and they've helped me through some dark places in my life. You know, like I say, without that, and not helping them help you with your mindset, it's just like you say. It's just you can almost like you find yourself in a rabbit hole.
Yeah, it's really hard to get out, isn't it?
It is indeed. Yes.
And it can be a horrible place, a very lonely place, a very self-destructive place, actually. And I think that probably terms it up. Yeah, the best. That's probably the best word I can think of. The thoughts that go through your head when you're in that dark, deep, lonely place by yourself is very, very self-destructive. And you're right. You find out. We're both lucky. We find out who your friends are, but we're both lucky in the fact that we've got a little safety net of family and friends that we can rely on. Yeah. And I find as I get older, my circle gets smaller.
Yeah, for sure.
You find that, if you bring in nothing positive to the table, mate, and you always want, then I haven't got time for you.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna have leeches in life, aren't you? You're always gonna, and you get to the stage where you're not interested in the bullshit anymore.
Yeah.
And for me, my motto, and the same as yours, Pete, is I only want positive people around me. Yeah. I've been through too much shit in my life to have the negativity and the crap, and people want to talk behind your back. And
100%.
If you're not bringing nothing to me, then for me, there's no reason for you to be in my circle.
100%. And those are the people that want to see you successful, want to see you grow. There's no negative attachment to it. For that, you get a lot of people out there where the jealousy kicks in. When you're down, they're more than happy to help you.
Yeah.
But when they see you going past them, then they're not happy.
Yeah.
They only want to see you succeed to a certain level. These
are not true people, though. Like for myself, my mindset is if I see someone who's doing really well for themselves, I want to know what they're doing.
It's inspiring.
It's inspiring. How they achieve that? I want to know because I want to better myself. Yeah. The only way to do that is being around people that are in a better position than you.
Yeah.
And
also, we're talking about, it's going to lead on to this, is how to grow your mindset, take yourself out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
So I've talked about different techniques that people use for your mind. So music.
Correct.
Music is absolutely brilliant.
Massive.
If you're feeling sad or down.
Massive.
Music can take you back to moments of happiness or any, what else has the power to take me back to a point in 1995 or a point in 1996? You can put a song on now and we'll both be like, wow.
Well, music is also scientifically proven to enhance performance.
Yep.
Hence, people in the gym, when you've got your music on in the gym, it's like I say, it's just scientifically proven.
And again, it's something that's really personal.
Yeah, you can.
So your choice of music and what you'd have.
Of course, and everyone can relate to certain songs and lyrics that personally mean something to you, and I could listen to the exact same song with that same lyric that personally means something to me.
Yeah. And another thing I talk about, it's not for everyone, is meditation. I don't know if you've ever tried it. It didn't really work for me, to be honest with you. I struggled with it. I really did.
Yeah, so I mean, meditation is funny, right? Because your mentality is always changing. If someone said to me, "You need to meditate when you're younger," you'd probably crack up and laugh. But as I've got older and certain life events, your mind opens up to a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
And I'm happy to try something. I would always say to myself now, let's try something at least once. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do it.
At least you can say you've done it. You tried it.
I mean, I've downloaded a few apps. Headway and a couple of others, which is for meditation. Have I done them yet? No.
The most important question.
Is it something that I would consider? Yes.
Yeah.
And like a few other things, I want to try yoga.
Okay.
Yoga as well.
Do you know what I'd love to? I'm so inflexible. Like my hamstrings. So you must be like that after football as well.
For sure, yeah. I mean, I struggle with my hip flexors are always really, really tight, and it's something as well. Like you say, if you go touching on stretching, I guess it's something that some people always put to the back of their brain and think, well, I'm going to train, I'm going to do this, but I don't have time to stretch.
Yeah, well, I leave at the end, and then I've got no time.
And you don't. And funny enough, one of the guys who I was training with yesterday in the gym actually was hounding me to get into a yoga class. Wow. So I think I'm booking on for my first session next week on a Saturday at 10 o'clock in the morning.
We'll have to get you back on here to tell us how it went.
We'll see how...
and if you actually went, we need you to go now.
We'll see how simple I'll become.
There we go. But it's weird that as we're talking about people, you bump into people for a reason. That might have been the reason you bumped into that friend.
Yeah,
to take
definitely.
To that, because we're always making excuses and we want to stick to what we're good at and what we're comfortable at.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to do. But we don't grow... we don't grow mentally, if you like, unless we take ourselves out of our comfort zone.
Yeah, for sure.
And one of the things that can help our mental focus is ice baths.
Yeah.
Here comes the story now. Right, so there are two different ice baths, like I talked about before. You've got the post-workout recovery ice baths. Yeah, these are for reducing the inflammation, reducing the soreness, reducing your DOMS, making sure that you can train again the next day. You'll have your game of football, rugby, etc. the next day. They are recovery ice baths. What I'm talking about is not them. All right, we both been there and done those.
Oh.
Not them. I'm talking about up in the morning. You've still got one eye closed, straight downstairs, in your pants or swimming trunks, boxers, whatever, straight into a freezing cold pool. So the cold pool plunge, the ice bath plunge, whatever you want to call it. But the morning one, where it's a mental battle between yourselves. So before I let Ian agree to come, before I said he can come on the podcast, there was a little thing he had to do, which was the ice cold plunge. I might turn this into a thing. Yeah. If you want to come on the show, you have to do 2 minutes in the ice bath. Yeah, he's got the video somewhere, so I'm sure we can put it up on our Instagram page or whatever. But so let's talk about that. Let's talk. I mentioned this to you yesterday or the day before, right?
Yes, correct.
So tell me your feelings when I first mentioned it.
Well, just touching back first of all, what you said about taking yourself out of your comfort zone. For me, I felt that when you get comfortable is not good.
Okay.
So for me, I felt like being in a comfortable zone, it's not good. You sort of relax and you kind of let things slip. So therefore, recently, due to certain events, I've sort of trying to change the mindset to be like you just said, let's take myself out of my comfort zone. Let's go. It's time to go. And when you started mentioning about ice baths...
Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So you're saying when you get comfortable, which is interesting, when you get comfortable, you kind of lose focus because you are comfortable.
100%.
Okay, it makes sense.
And I think everybody goes through that.
Yeah.
When you're comfortable...
It's easy as well.
Yeah, it's easy. Everything becomes so easy. And how do you progress, like you just said, if you're not taking yourself out of that comfort zone?
Yeah.
And to take yourself out of that comfort zone... it's quite hard because a lot of people, including myself, and I'm sure you don't want to fail. But
I think it's the fear of failure, isn't it? The fear of not following it through.
Yeah, but how do you learn? You only learn through failing.
That's correct. Yeah.
So listening to yourself when I speak to you and your positive mindset and how you've been dealing with things and telling me about these ice baths, it kind of brought back memories from when I used to actually play football because we used to do it years ago.
Recovery ice baths.
We're going back more than 15 years. So I thought to myself, do you know what? Listening to yourself, which is quite inspiring, made me and something switch and say, right, come on, let's do this. Let's give this a go. I'm gonna now take myself out of my comfort zone in this department and let's go for it. Hence me being here this morning.
Right. So we're gonna attach this clip. I'm actually gonna attach this clip to this podcast now.
Yeah.
So as you can see, I'm gonna show Ian. There he is, looking very nervous. So what was going through your mind as you're kind of weighing up that tub, looking at the tub, and
well, first of all,
because you're looking confident, you're going to do it, but part of me thought that you were going to stall.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Like I said to you earlier, prior to even eyeing up that tub all night long, I've been thinking about this all night long since yesterday when I put it in my head. And I kept looking at I was actually looking at my phone this morning. I set my alarm for 6 o'clock this morning because I thought, I'm not going to be late. I'm going to be on time. We're going to get this done.
Yeah.
But I know the torture of this process.
Well, your mind doesn't want you to do it.
No.
Your mind does not want you to do it.
Yeah. So when I got up this morning, I thought, right, come, let's go, big boy, let's go. So, when I got here, I in that tub, I actually let you go first. I thought, let me see.
Yeah, I gave him a choice. I said he can either go first or I can go first. Because I know some people can get motivated by seeing someone go first, but it can also work the other way. They see it and they're like, nah, I don't want to do it anymore. So I gave him a choice. He decided he wanted me to go first, which I did.
I thought I'd let the pro go first. As he's into day 15. So I thought, day 15, so my mind is 15 years. But yeah, I mean, you done 2 minutes in, I believe, was it?
Three, yeah.
Is it 2 in, 1 out, or 3?
No, I did 3 in, 1 out. I was going for 2.
Yeah, so you done 3.
I decided to go for.
So that's impressive. I mean, so I decided to take the 1 minute in.
Yeah, I think I was kind of coaching you to set yourself a small target first. It was your first time doing it.
Yeah.
Just gives you that. You don't want to set yourself something silly. For one, it's the first time you're exposing your body to that much cold at that temperature.
Also, I'm quite a competitive person.
Yeah.
So if you said to me do 2 minutes in or 3 minutes and I didn't achieve it, I'll be beating myself up massively.
I didn't want that process of failure feeling.
Yeah. So for me, I personally thought, right, let's go with the easier option of a 1 minute in. And a 1 minute out. Was that what I done before?
You done probably longer than a minute out.
Yeah.
But you did 1 minute 10.
Yeah.
You were in for 1 minute 10.
Yeah.
And I kind of kept you out there talking without letting you grab a towel for over a minute and a half nearly, I think. So,
so I personally thought it was going to be, I thought that I would react worse than what I did when I actually went in.
Okay, the initial drop.
The initial drop. Of course, it took my breath away.
Yeah.
And moving forward, like you say, and a couple of other people have actually said to me, just to maybe try and control the breathing more. Yeah. But I guess that will come the more...
I mean, to be fair, I'm on day 15 and I'm just starting to. It didn't come from me. The first week, definitely my breath was gone.
Yeah.
I was trying to. I think it is Wim Hof or Andrew Huberman who talks about doing a long breath out.
Yeah.
Literally, all I could think about was getting in the tub.
Yeah.
The breathing was out the window for the first week.
Yeah.
So maybe that's for myself as well. So maybe going forward, I've seen guys actually on social media who actually talk, don't even have a reaction as they get into the ice. So fair play to you.
Yeah.
But they just look like they're sitting in a bath of warm water and they're able to have a conversation. But I haven't got to that stage yet. I still need to focus on my breathing a bit. But
and like you say, I think it all goes back to your mindset, right? Yeah. Because even me, I probably could have, on the way here, should I get in? Should I not?
Yeah.
And like you see people psyching themselves up. Are they going to jump in, 1 foot in, 1 foot out? Yeah. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to just straight go for it, and I'm proud that I actually did go straight for it.
Yeah, you did straight in. You went both feet in, down.
Yeah, so I mean, just for me, like I say, next time would probably be just trying to maybe focus a little bit more on breathing, and then progress from there up to maybe like a minute and a half, then 2 minutes, and so on. But the challenging part when I was in there, I thought my whole body was going to be, it would be attacking my whole body. But it was more for me was my legs. My legs felt,
you did say that after.
And my toes when I was in there was that was the challenging part where I personally thought it maybe have been my top half more so. Okay. But no, it was the other way around. So that's
you get the opposite because I always feel it on my chest. I always feel it here.
Yeah. Because that's what I mean. When you said you come out and you said, my top half, I thought, all right, okay, cool. And then when I was in there, it's like, whoa, this like just something's you hit the nail on the head when you said it feels like something's attacking your body. Yeah. And that's what it felt like, something's attacking my body.
It is, yeah.
But at the same time, it's the endorphins. It's like a euphoric feeling.
Huge. I think it's 280% more endorphins. It is ridiculous.
Yeah. And the fact, the sense that you've come out and you've won that battle with your mind.
Yeah. And I think that is one of the. I think there's pros and cons for doing it with people. I think it's great for motivation, but I'm like yourself.
Yeah.
I can be competitive, and it's a way of, you kind of need to find to take that edge off, and pretend that the other person's not there because it's you in your mind. That's the battle. Do you know what I mean? Not anyone else.
For sure. Yeah.
So anyone who's starting this with a group of friends or anything like that, do it as a group if that's what motivates you. But remember, the battle's in your mind. The battle's in your head.
Yeah.
So like I was saying to you at the end of your video, I don't know if you can hear it because we kind of put the speed thing on, but I was saying it's been a minute, but you decide when you get out. Not your head. Don't because your head wants to come out right away. You know, your mind's telling you now. But you're like, no, I'll get out when I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'll get out now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Almost flipping the control and saying, I control you, not you control me.
And for me, I also felt like obviously having you there, it kind of, again, it goes back to who you have around you.
100%.
You know, so I guess maybe if I was on my own in that situation, I may have decided I'm going to take a little bit longer to get in. You know, maybe I'm going to bail, maybe I'm going to get out. You know, but the fact that you've got someone inspiring you there, telling you as well that you decide when you're getting out, not your brain.
That's true.
You know, it doesn't make it easy by any sense of or way or form, but it made that a little bit more like, come on, and that's the competitive streak in you, I guess, as well. To say,
come on, do it.
Come on, you can do this. Because remember, you touching back on, you said one of the boys in the station who you took the plunge pool to the station, and he was doing it, and you said for a while he was gearing himself up. Yeah,
there's few people I've seen. That's why I say I'll do it as soon as I wake up, because I find the longer I'm awake, the more I stress about it, the more it becomes a big issue. Whereas I need to do it before my mind wakes up, if you like. So,
overthinking it.
Yeah, you overanalyze it, you overthink it. And I've got that kind of hamster wheel mind anyway. You know, I lie in bed at night and then hamster wheels are going about anything. So I feel like I need to catch my mind. Before it starts to
talk you out of it.
Trying to talk me out of it.
Trying to talk you out of that. Like I said, it's going back to being in your comfort zone.
100%.
And trying to step out of the box. If you like, and not, like you say, not let your brain
talk you out of it. And also, I think we're having a laugh because I said there's been a few nights where I've had to get the Rocky theme tune on. It was no easy way out. That was the track from the film. And I've had to pump that in the background, but whatever works for you. If it's music, you know, if it's watching a film or, you know, watching something on YouTube, whatever motivates you to get in that tub, if that's what you want to do, then do it.
And like you say, I heard a quote that says, pain accelerates transformation. And I think that's so true in terms of, like, you know, the mindset, physically, anything to overcome, and like you're saying, just step out of that comfort zone will accelerate anything that you want to do, your thinking, your performance, you know, and that sort of thing. And and that's what I'm trying to do.
Well, we applaud you in that, and hopefully your progress when we get you back on here, hopefully next year, maybe we can see your progress and see where you are.
Yeah, for sure.
But thank you for coming on here.
Yeah, no,
it's been
much
great having you in.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure to come on.
And you look after yourself, and we look forward to the progress report next year.
Yes, thank you very much.
Enjoy your yoga.
Mate.
Take care.
Thanks, mate. Bye-bye.